Hello and welcome to Revisiting Archive, the channel where we explore the fascinating history of the world. This is the fifth video in our series on Spanish history. Today we are going to talk about the Reconquista, the centuries-long campaign to recapture territory from Muslim rule that lasted from 711 CE to 1492 CE. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. Also, if you enjoy our content, please give us a like and share it with your friends. Thank you for your support. The Emirate of Granada's resilience as the last Islamic stronghold in Iberia is a tale of skillful diplomacy, fortuitous geography, and sheer determination. For centuries, while vast portions of the Iberian Peninsula were reconquered by Christian forces, Granada adeptly maintained its independence. This was largely facilitated by its geographical positioning. The rugged Sierra Nevada mountains created a natural fortress against potential invaders. Furthermore, the emirate engaged in a form of realpolitik, often paying tributes to stronger northern Christian kingdoms, usually Castile. This move was not just about survival, but also about leveraging the rivalries among Christian kingdoms to its advantage. The ambition of the Catholic Monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, combined with the religious fervor of the Reconquista, set the stage for this decade-long conflict. Their vision of a united Christian Spain was incompatible with the presence of a Muslim kingdom. The war was characterized by extended sieges and swift guerrilla tactics, emblematic of the mountainous terrain of southern Spain. Christian forces employed a methodical approach, targeting the peripheries of Granada, capturing pivotal towns, and gradually encircling the capital. Meanwhile, the defenders of Granada, led by various sultans over this period, leveraged their intimate knowledge of the terrain to conduct swift raids and ambushes, inflicting significant casualties and disrupting enemy logistics. War is as much a test of diplomatic acumen as it is of military prowess. Throughout the conflict, both sides often sought to negotiate, realizing the importance of diplomacy alongside direct confrontation. The Catholic monarchs, understanding the symbolic importance of Granada, aimed a peaceful integration of the territory into their realm. Muhammad XIII, commonly known as Boabdil, on the other hand, aimed to secure the best possible conditions for his people, fully aware of the military might facing him. These intermittent negotiations and truces were critical in shaping the course of war, highlighting that even in intense religious conflicts, pragmatism often found its place. The climactic siege of Granada was a testament to the determination of both sides. Christian forces, having made significant territorial gains over the decade, surrounded the city, enforcing a brutal blockade. Inside the city walls, conditions rapidly deteriorated. The inhabitants, once living in a flourishing center of Andalusian culture, faced severe food shortages and the specter of disease. Despite the desperate resistance and attempts to break the siege, the imbalance of resources and manpower became increasingly evident as the months wore on. Boabdil's eventual surrender in 1942 was not a mere act of submission. It was a calculated move to secure the best future for Granada's inhabitants. The Treaty of Granada, outlining the terms of surrender, was notably lenient. It guaranteed religious freedoms for Muslims, allowing them to live according to their customs and laws. This was a significant concession from the Catholic monarchs, who were keen on presenting the conquest as a benevolent integration rather than a hostile takeover. However, in the subsequent years, this promise was reneged upon, as pressures for conversion and assimilation grew, culminating in the eventual explosion of the Moriscos, Muslims who had converted to Christianity, in the early 17th century. This poignant moment encapsulates the emotional and cultural gravity of the Reconquista's conclusion. As Boabdil looked back at the Alhambra and the city, the weight of centuries of Muslim rule and the impending exile culminated in a deep sigh of sorrow. The alleged remark from his mother, Aisha, underscores the societal expectations of a ruler, contrasting the raw, personal grief of losing one's homeland with the stoicism expected of a king. This legend, whether entirely factual or partly apocryphal, has left an indelible mark on the narrative of the Reconquista, illustrating the profound human emotions behind historical events. What were the consequences? There were religious, political, exploration, and architectural legacy consequences. So, religious, the Reconquista's culmination intensified. The push towards religious homogenization in Spain Over the subsequent decades, policies grew increasingly stringent against Muslims and later against Jews. This erosion of religious rights, often under the guise of unity and purity of faith, culminated in forced conversions and the eventual expulsion of those who retained their Islamic faith. Political consequences were, with Granada's incorporation, the Iberian Peninsula for the first time was almost entirely under Christian rule. This victory solidified the union between Castile and Aragon, transforming Spain into a formidable European power. The internal consolidation facilitated Spain's external imperial ambitions in the centuries to come. What were the exploratory consequences? 1492 was not just pivotal for the Iberian Peninsula, it had global ramifications. With the conquest complete, the Catholic monarchs turned their gaze westwards, sponsoring Columbus' voyage. His subsequent discovery of the Americas ushered in a new era of exploration, colonization, and the complex web of global interactions that would shape world history. What were the architectural legacy consequences? One of them, the Alhambra, stands as a resplendent testament to the architectural and artistic brilliance of the Nasrid dynasty. Its intricate designs, water features, and architectural layout epitomize the zenith of the Andalusian art and culture. After the Reconquista, the palace complex was not razed or entirely repurposed, but was preserved and even expanded by Spanish rulers, serving as a residence for monarchs and a symbol of the intertwined history of Spain's Christians and Muslims past. The fall of Granada and the events surrounding it are emblematic of the broader currents of history, where political ambition, cultural expression, religious fervor, and personal emotions interweave to create a tapestry that defies epochs and shapes the trajectories of civilizations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of the Reconquista. If you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might be interested. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more explorations of historical topics. This is Revisiting Archive. Until next time.